What if I told you this might be the softest blueberry cake you ever make? Today we're going to put together a soft and moist blueberry cream cheese cake with a creamy center and juicy blueberries on top. It's easy to make, incredibly delicious, and perfect for any occasion. You're going to love this, so join me and let's get started. Alright, so the first thing we're making is the cream cheese layer, and trust me, it's what makes the cake so irresistible. So I added my softened cream cheese and sugar to a mixing bowl, then whisk until it's light, smooth, and creamy. Next, I mix in my egg and then the vanilla extract, and we'll continue whisking until you have a silky, lump-free mixture. Once everything is ready, we're going to set it aside while we move on to the cake batter and make sure that everything we use in this recipe is at room temperature. They'll mix together more easily and create a smooth, creamy texture. Now let's make the cake batter. In another mixing bowl, we're going to add the sugar, eggs, and a pinch of salt. We're going to whisk everything together until the mixture becomes light in color and slightly thickened. This adds a little air into the mixture, which helps give the cake a soft, light, and fluffy texture. Next, we add the oil to the mixture. The oil helps keep the cake moist and tender. Then add the milk. The milk helps create a smooth batter and adds a little richness. Next, some vanilla extract gives the cake a warm, sweet flavor. Finally, add the lemon zest. The lemon zest brings a fresh citrus flavor that balances the sweetness and adds a bright, refreshing taste to the cake. So we'll mix everything together until the batter is smooth and well combined. And don't worry, I have all the ingredients and measurements listed in the video description below so you can follow along. Next, we add in the flour and baking powder to the mixture. The flour gives the cake its structure while the baking powder helps it rise and gives it a soft, light texture. So we mix everything together gently until the flour is just combined and you have a smooth batter. Be careful not to overmix because that can make the cake dense instead of soft and fluffy. And at this point, the batter should not be too thick or too runny. You're looking for a smooth, pourable consistency that flows easily but still has some body to it, just like this. Next, we prepare our baking pan, so I'm going to grease the bottom and the sides of the pan with a little oil or cooking spray, then place a piece of parchment paper inside. And greasing the pan helps the parchment paper stick in place and makes it easier to remove the cake after baking. The parchment paper, however, also helps prevent the cake from sticking, so you can lift it out easily while keeping those beautiful edges intact. So now we're just going to pour our mixture in there. And it's time to add our cream cheese layer that we prepared earlier. So we're carefully going to spoon the cream cheese mixture over the cake batter, then gently spread it out here shortly. This creamy layer will bake into the cake, adding a rich, smooth texture and a delicious cheesecake-like flavor in every bite. So take your time spreading it out so that you get a beautiful layer throughout the cake. And this was honestly the fun part for me because you get to be creative with how you want to add and spread the cream cheese. You can create swirls or spread it out evenly across the top. There is really no right or wrong way to do it. Have fun with this step and make it your own because this is what gives the cake that beautiful homemade look. Now it's time to add the blueberries. Gently spread them over the cream cheese layer, making sure they spread out so you get delicious blueberry flavor in every bite. Once the blueberries are added, place the cake in a preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit and will bake for about 40 to 50 minutes until the top is slightly golden and a toothpick inserted into the cake portion comes out clean. And keep in mind that every oven is different, so start checking around the 40 minutes mark. The cake is finally out of the oven and it smells so amazing. Before slicing into it, let the cake cool completely in the pan. Allowing it to cool gives the cream cheese layer time to set and helps the cake hold its shape when you cut into it. If you slice it while it's still warm, the cream cheese layer may still be too soft and the cake can fall apart. And once it has cooled completely, I like to add a little dusting of powdered sugar on top for a beautiful finishing touch. This step is completely optional, but I love the little extra sweetness and the pretty look it adds to the cake. And now it's time for the best part. Just look at how soft and fluffy the texture is with that beautiful cream cheese layer running through the middle and those juicy blueberries throughout. The cake is light, moist, and perfectly balanced with sweetness from the blueberries and the richness from the cream cheese. Every bite is soft, creamy, and full of flavor. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed making this recipe with me. If you try it, let me know how it turns out in the comment. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this recipe with someone who loves homemade desserts. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay safe and blessed always.